What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Triple Option Podcast. After a long hiatus, we are back. I'm one of your hosts, Anuraag, and joining me, the gent with intent, the boss with the gloss, the man with the plan, Akshay Raj.
What's up, guys? I'm excited to be here again. Another week. Fortunately, we missed the last couple of weeks. Apologies on that, but here we're back, and we're ready for some more football.
Next to me, we got the sage of the stage, the mind refined, the voice with the poise, Arjun Berti.
What can I say, guys? That was a long bye week, but I'm glad to be back. Let's get started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's kick these off with the game recaps. So
We can start with the first game. This was known as the Unk Show on
Icy Hot Bowl, Unk Bowl.
On Thursday night, whatever you want to call it. The matter of fact is we had a 41-year-old quarterback play a 40-year-old quarterback. And no, this is not a drill. This is a true event that took place. And the final score was 31-33. So it was very quality game, high scoring. I think there was a winning field goal at the end of the game that helped the Bengals to win. So yeah, any thoughts on this game, guys?
Dude, the both of them, they're old, but they are very capable of putting up a lot of points. And honestly, maybe the Bengals aren't as dead as we thought. They're now, 3-4?
Yeah.
And they have a shot at, staying afloat until Burrow comes back.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised with how the Bengals offensive line performed. I think Flacco got sacked only one time. And yeah, when you have a not mobile QB but he's a veteran, and you give him time, he's going to find his guys, especially if you got game changers like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins who can catch the ball. So, yeah, I wonder what Tomlin was thinking. Earlier in the week, he was like, oh, Andrew Berry must be smarter than you and I, and he was complaining about how the Browns traded Cincinnati Joe Flacco. So he probably knew what was going to happen before it even happened.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, just as a recap for you if you are not aware as the audience, I think the Browns are also part of this division as well, and they had Joe Flacco prior to this, and they traded for the Bengals traded for Joe Flacco. So now as a division rival, it's like really weird to trade like as valuable of an asset in the middle of the season. And so Mike Tomlin, the coach of the Steelers, was making this point, which to his credit is completely fair, because Joe Flacco is one of those guys where you can just plug him into an offense that's just ready to explode, and he'll deliver for you, because he's that kind of gunslinger that will take the chances and that will make the throw even if it seems like scarier than normal. So
yeah, he's gonna get his guys the ball, and Jamar Chase actually had a franchise record of 16 receptions.
Whoop, whoop. Franchise record.
That was pretty crazy.
I think 23 targets too, something insane like that.
Yeah. 16 receptions on 23 targets. That was quite a game from him.
161 yards. He's fully back, I think.
Very, very entertaining game. A lot of funny things happened in this game too. I thought the one where Jamar Chase dropped the crossing route and Joe Flacco had his mouth like this. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah,
that was the same expression I had too, honestly.
When Aaron Rodgers threw a deep touchdown pass and one of his own offensive linemen tackled him, and then he got mad at him. And then there's a one play where Rodgers got mad at the running back.
Yeah, Jalen Warren.
Because he thought he threw a flea flicker when it wasn't a flea flicker. I have never seen that in my entire life.
That was a crazy miscommunication.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, but there were some wild encounters this game. But I think we can give some recognition to some standout players in this game. Obviously, of which are Rodgers and Flacco. Each of them got at least 3 passing touchdowns this game. I think both of the running backs as well eclipsed for over 100 yards. What did you guys think of the run game in this competition, I guess?
Yeah, there's no defense being played on both the run and the pass. So, yeah, they were able to get the ground game. Obviously, once you establish your running game, the passing game opens up. I think everyone knows that.
Right.
So, yeah, they were able to get what they wanted out of it. Both teams were.
Yeah, I think I was not so surprised that Warren eclipsed 100, because, Cincinnati Bengals defense is pretty bad. And I think they didn't even have Hendricks in the last game as well, who's like their best defender. There's no other notable name. But Chase Brown getting over 100, is this the first one he's gotten this season?
I think so, yeah.
So that was definitely pretty surprising, especially against a pretty good Steelers defensive line that has been decent at stopping the run. So
yeah.
I don't know what the issue is this week particularly. Like TJ Watt did not play well. Like I didn't see his presence at all throughout the game.
I think also, like, Flacco being back means that defenses cannot just stack the box.
Well, that is also true, yeah.
Right.
I don't think Brown is a bad running back at all either. Even though he's been very inefficient, like, I think we'll see a little bit of a regression to the mean in a good way, positive regression.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess receiving wise, we had obviously the likes of Jamar Chase with 16 receptions, 161 yards. But I guess on the other end, we had a tight end who's been loved by the Steelers franchise for the last couple of years and hasn't done well to start the season, but he kind of showed out when it mattered, and that was Pat Freiermuth. He got 2 touchdowns on one touchdown was like 68 yards, the one that Rodgers received. Huge play, man. Do you think he's potentially wide receiver or tight end 1 on the team now, or is that just like a fluke game per se?
I think he's been tight end 1, no? Who's been ahead of him?
It's like they traded for Jonnu Smith.
Oh, right.
So
you know how much Arthur Smith loves Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, Jonnu's been taking quite a bit. And then there's obviously Darnell Washington as well. I think there's also this new guy, Connor Hayward, who's been taking a few things here and there. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see.
They low-key use their tight ends, like their wide receiver 2 and 3 and 4. So
yeah. I mean, besides Metcalf, like no other like notable names exist. I think Austin was out this last couple of weeks, but I think he's gonna be back up soon. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So I think Pittsburgh receiving had like 9 or 10 different receivers that caught the ball, whereas the Bengals only had 5 people altogether, of which one was the running back, one was Jamar, and the other 3 were like Eo, Shivas, and then Fant. So very, very unique way of seeing how these receiving cores kind of distributed the ball per se.
Cool stuff.
Yeah. With that, we'll go to the next game, which is Indiana versus the Chargers. We wanted to cover this game just to give some love to the 6-1 Colts. Now, this has been a couple of weeks since we kind of had a podcast, but 6-1 is the Colts are the only team that are 6-1 right now, which is quite insane to say given what people might have predicted at the start of the season.
That one loss too was a very winnable game for them as well.
Right, against the Rams,
extremely close. If Adonai Mitchell didn't give up the ball randomly.
Oh, right, yeah. He fumbled it.
He did one of those, like, drop it before he went in.
Oh, my.
He also got called for, like, a very silly holding call on a Jonathan Taylor touchdown towards the end of the game. So
Right. No, that was crazy. But, what are you guys' thoughts on, I guess, Daniel Jones, Herbert to kind of start it out?
This game, it was a good game. I don't have many thoughts other than Daniel Jones is him. And the Chargers are so injured. I feel bad for their offensive line. Joe Alt gone.
Potentially back soon,
though.
Any thoughts on when Slater will come back?
No, I think he's out for the season. I think Slater is gone. And you have, like, 2 amazing, like, top-tier tackles, and your offensive line is supposed to be set. And then both of them get injured. It's
very unfortunate.
Very heartbreaking. A lot of money tied to both of them, too. Actually, I think Alt is still on his rookie deal, right?
He is.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of money tied up in
at least
Slater.
At least, yeah.
So it's very unfortunate for them. It kind of changes, like, their whole outlook on the season, in my opinion.
I think we anointed the Chargers a little too early.
Yeah, that was in my hot take segment. Yeah. It's a hot take for a reason, I guess.
It was a hot take, yeah. Also, you can't forecast an injury, right?
Yeah,
or several injuries.
Yeah, injuries like that is just unfortunate. But, credit where credit's due, regardless. The Colts do seem like an amazing team. It's not like the Chargers have lost to, like horrendous teams or anything like that. They've just had it unlucky in terms of injuries. So, but one thing I wanted to note was this game, I think Herbert had 55 passing attempts.
Yeah,
I think
huge.
A lot of it is just like scripted, obviously, because they were behind the entire game. And they only rushed the ball 16 times, which is a little.
I think both their running backs are also out too, right?
Yeah. They're
both
both
Najee Harris and Hampton. Both are gone, right?
In fact, now I think Hassan Haskins is also injured.
Is someone injured? Yeah. But I guess with this game, do you think this is a kind of something to come until at least their O-line gets a little healthy?
Yeah, like not only is their O-line gone, both their 2 top backs are gone. Like you have to put the ball in Herbert's hands at that point. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was 2 separate people in the Chargers offense, Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey, that both had at least 14 targets, which is crazy. I've never seen that before. And then on top of that, the rookie tight end gets 9 targets, and then Quinton Johnson gets 6 targets. That's like already 35-ish targets just between 4 people on the offense. So just that was crazy altogether. But anyone want to shout some love to
Dude, Jonathan Taylor. Give him the MVP. Okay, maybe not.
MVP, at least Opo.
Give him some. Yeah, give him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Definitely. You guys, where's Taylor in your running back rankings this season? I think he's definitely up there, close to one if not.
I probably have him at 2.
1 or 2.
Just behind CMC.
Yeah, just behind CMC.
CMC.
Yeah.
What about Bijan?
Bijan's probably like 3.
That's
It's so
tough.
close.
Yeah,
It's very
close.
close
It's
between
close.
them. I think
Yeah.
they're all different style of players too. I
Yeah.
think Taylor is very good just down the
Pure
field,
rushing
pure
ball.
rushing.
Pure rushing, yeah.
And CMC is a do-it-all Swiss Army knife, and Bijan is more of the same too. His lateral quickness and all that
Yeah.
stuff is really really special. So it's been really fun to watch these 3 running backs for the season, this whole season.
Yeah, and all 3 of them are on pace. I don't know if you guys know what a legendary running back is. I think it's like above 24 points per game.
Wow.
And all 3 of them are on pace to do that. And the last one we had before the season was, I think, in 2020.
For CMC?
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
I think that was the year CMC got like 1,000, or was that the year
I
before?
think that was that year, maybe.
Okay.
20
Well, whatever
it
it
was,
is,
yeah.
that is extremely crazy. But I guess with CMC and Bijan, we kind of expected this, that they would be this good, given that they were healthy. But I think Jonathan Taylor was a little bit of a surprise to most of us. The fact that he's this good, I think a lot of it has to go to a credit as what Anuraag said. Like if you have a good rushing game, the passing game opens, and vice versa. If you have a good passing game, the rushing game also opens. So in that sense, Jonathan Taylor's always been this good, right? It's just that the passing game for the Colts has never been reasonably this good for him to have these many open opportunities to kind of like go for a long run, or be able to break so many opportunities down the field. So
Yeah, he had 3
Yeah.
touchdowns this game. You're not doing that if you don't have a good offense.
Right.
Yeah.
what do you guys think of the way that both the Daniel Jones and Herbert are kind of distributing the ball? I don't think there's like a clear receiver one, like tight end obviously and receiver, but like aggregating them together, it's not like a clear number 1 option every game. So I'm kind of curious what you guys think about that.
It looks like Ladd is picking it up lately, which is I guess a good sign for
I think without the running game, like Ladd is much more important on the quicker
Right.
getting open
quick
routes.
pass.
right?
Yeah, he's very
Open.
quick.
Him and Keenan Allen both, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because they both got like I think 14 and 15 targets this game.
Yeah.
So.
One person I would like to shout out and show some love is Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts.
Mm.
I think he's been getting a lot of like flame and steam lately, especially with the Colts' struggles in the last like 2-3 years. But he put his team in a good situation. They have built a great offensive line. They have some good weapons around him. Warren was a good pick. He seems to be making this offense click as well.
I think he's playing like a veteran tight end, one of the best in the league.
He's
Right.
blocking well. He's running the Wildcat well.
Yeah, like,
he's doing
getting
everything
open,
on
yeah.
the field, and going to him early in those scripted drives at the beginning of the game just opens up the field for Taylor, like you said. So he's like crucial.
Yeah, so the way the team is built, I like it. I like how they strengthen the trenches. Their defense is also good. I think Cam Bynum is a good pickup, former Viking. I thought he's one of our standout players last year, and he got paid by the Colts, and he's been playing well.
Yeah, that defense looks really good. I mean, obviously, I don't know if you guys saw, but I think it was like week 6 or something. Their best quarterback, Xavier Howard, unfortunately got a concussion during practice or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
I did see that.
Right before the game or something. But aside from him, their whole defense has been really, really good. So, I mean, kudos to them. Obviously, the Chargers defense has always been pretty good as well. But I think the Indianapolis defense has taken a big step up this year, which has kind of also helped their offense succeed as much as we've seen them. But yeah, I guess going forward, I think Indiana has like a really solid receiving game as well as running game. What do you guys think of like the receiving options in Indiana actually like being viable? Like with, I guess, Warren, and then there's like now the Pittman, when Downs comes back, he'll obviously be good. Alec Pierce seems like a good deep threat. So
Yeah, they've got a deep room, and
I agree, yeah.
I've always thought that the room was pretty good. They just had like Richardson at quarterback.
right, they just needed a quarterback to deliver the ball.
And Daniel Jones is that guy. So
Yeah, he's definitely taking his chances, throwing it deep, throwing it into tough areas, very contested areas overall. He's just trusting his receivers with it, which is really good to see. Yeah. All right, with that, we'll go to the last game, which was the New York Giants versus the Denver Broncos. Just a crazy game altogether. Crazy game altogether. I'll let the guys break it down, but it's just heartbreak for the Giants if you're a fan of them.
Arjun, do you want to go first?
Sure, dude. My heart rate was insane during that fourth quarter. So I think the Giants had a very dominant lead initially, like I think 19-0.
19-0 after 3
entering
quarters.
the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the Broncos put up 33 points in the fourth quarter. That is insane.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the most, or maybe the most, in the fourth quarter since the Super Bowl era or something like that. 33 unanswered,
Yeah.
33 points.
Yeah, something like that,
Dude.
for sure.
What do you guys think about Jackson Dart?
I think before Jackson Dart, I'd like to touch up on the other QB.
Or
in
Bo
this
Nix?
game.
Okay.
We have a fantasy league, and unfortunately for me, I was playing against Bo Nix.
Oh,
and
no.
if you guys know me, you know I'm not like a huge Bo Nix like fan or believer. Like I don't think he's like going to ever be like a top 15 QB. But throughout 3 quarters, my opinion was vindicated, and I was winning in this fantasy game. And I was feeling good. I was feeling okay. My take is aging well. My team is winning. Then all of a sudden, this 4th quarter happens, and Bo Nix puts up 35 points in 1 quarter or something like that. 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, and he completely cooked my team in fantasy. He single-handedly beat my fantasy team. So not only am I mad because my Bo Nix take is not aging that well, he's playing pretty well. At least he did play well in the 4th quarter, but I also lost, unfortunately.
It was the most points in the 4th quarter in NFL history by a team that was shut out through 3 quarters. So
That's crazy.
that is an insane comeback, and to have the
Insane.
mental grit to fight through that.
Yeah.
Props to the coach, props to the players.
What did you guys think of those? I mean, obviously the Broncos had a tip drill touchdown, and so did the Giants as well. What did you guys think of those? That was
The last
hilarious.
minute of that game was insane.
It was
Yeah.
insane, yeah.
I didn't know what to expect.
And then I think the Broncos obviously won by 1, right? But didn't Did they miss the extra
Yeah, they
point?
They
did miss
missed
an
actually
extra
2
point.
extra points, I
Oh.
think, throughout the game. Let me check
Oh,
that.
I was
wow.
not aware of the first
Yeah.
one, but I know when the Giants took the lead
Mm-hmm.
after the Broncos took the lead to
Uh-huh.
complete the comeback,
Right.
they missed that extra point.
Oh, dang. That would have actually tied the game. It could have gone to
They
overtime.
would have
or
gone to
something.
overtime.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 missed extra points.
But
and
looks
the
like
one
it was not in the
crucial.
favor of the Giants this
Yeah.
week.
I mean, you got to give it out for Jackson Dart. He played a really good game for the first 3 quarters. I mean, obviously he had an interception.
Yeah,
which doesn't look that
back-breaking
nice.
interception.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't look nice at all. I mean, he took full
Accountability.
for it. So I mean, he's a rookie quarterback. It'll
happens, yeah.
It'll learn from here. It's just heartbreaking for him, obviously, and then that whole offense that put out a good performance. Obviously, their defense as well.
I thought their defense played really well
their
through 3
defense had
quarters.
shut him out for 3 quarters, and this.
But then all of a sudden, like, I guess,
Just
I don't
fell
know if
apart.
it was like fatigue or if they just wanted it more, or Bo Nix just something clicked in his head, or he was able to exploit coverages or run or something. I don't know what it was, but he was able to completely dice up that defense. 33 points in 1 quarter is obviously pretty bad. But I thought they played well throughout the first 3 quarters. But I genuinely don't know. Like I cannot tell you what happened in that 4th quarter.
Yeah, I think it comes down also a little bit to like the mindset at that point, right? Because you're up 19, 3 quarters. The other team has yet to score a point, and it's just like, all right, let's just play defense, with a little bit of safety associated with it, so we're not just like giving up free touchdowns here and there. Like they can drive up the field, and take the time, like take the clock away, and that'll be it, right? Like 19 points should be enough for us. So in that sense, like having that kind of attitude might have backfired in this sense. But all credit to the Broncos offense, obviously, and the defense too, for being able to like either get a quick turnover or
being able to stop them.
Yeah, being able to stop
Yeah.
them that quickly and get them back to the
Also,
offense.
that last Giants drive where they took back the lead, it was very controversial. A lot of controversial
right,
penalties.
so many penalties, right?
Yeah.
I think how many were there? There's like 4 or 5.
There was a
penalties?
few. I'm not sure the exact number, but the notable ones to me was there was one where Jackson Dart was scrambling on like 4th and 17 or something like that, 4th and long, and he went up in the pocket and he threw a dot. To be fair, it was a great throw, but to me it looked like the runner was just short. They gave it to him at the end, but it was very close, and to my eyes it looked like he was short, but it definitely deserved a review. But they called a roughing the passer, and I felt like
Yeah.
that wasn't really roughing the passer. I
They
felt
didn't
like
even get
it was
to
a bad call. And I don't know if it was the very next play, but a few plays after, Jackson Dart takes a shot in the end zone, and they get called for a really like soft PI in my
it was
opinion.
extremely soft. So
So a lot of. It was unfortunate for the Broncos, but I guess ball don't lie with that extra
yeah, ball
point.
don't lie. Ended up
Yeah.
working out.
No, that was a crazy game altogether. Thoughts on the two teams going forward? I mean, obviously, would have looked a lot different if the Giants were 3-4. Could have had a good shot at contending in the division. And then obviously now with the Broncos win, they are first in their division now officially. So thoughts on both those teams moving forward?
Yeah, I think the Broncos they look decent. I still backing the Chiefs to win the division as of now.
I mean,
if I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah,
looks like they found like a little bit of a groove. But yeah, Broncos look good. That defense looks good. Bo Nix is playing a little better. He's very shaky. Like sometimes I watch him and I'm like, how is this guy an NFL quarterback? And then sometimes I watch him and he's insane. So I really don't know what to make of this guy at this point. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the cookie crumbles for Denver. And they have some real aspirations this season. I think they're expecting to make at least a divisional game. I think if you asked the Denver Broncos what was their expectations at the beginning of the season, I think number one, make the playoffs and probably also win a playoff game. I think that was their expectation going into the season. As for the Giants, they're showing improvement at least. Like they're not a bottom feeder team like a lot of people thought they would be. They're showing direction. I guess one issue is that it does not look good on Brian Daboll. I think he is really in the hot seat, and you could really tell like he is getting really animated and really angry. I think there's some report going around saying that like he threw a chair in the locker room or he's like really angry or something like that. I saw something like that.
I didn't know that.
What is that?
So looks like his job is in jeopardy a little bit more so than like the GM's job or the players. I feel like they've shown promise, especially under Jackson Dart. The Giants have shown a little bit more promise, obviously beating the Eagles, beating the Chargers. They're in games. They're being competitive against good teams. So obviously they're in the position to choke that lead. So they got the lead in the first place against a good team. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds for Brian Daboll, but I think he is sweating right now.
Yeah, definitely on the hot seat. What do you think? Where do you think the Giants will end up in the division?
That's an interesting question. I mean, the division looks very intriguing. Obviously, the Commanders
don't look so
Commanders
good.
Lost back-to-back games now against the Bears and then the Cowboys. So I think the Commanders are last in the
I
division.
think 3 in a row, right? They lose to the Falcons
Actually, no,
the previous
I think
week.
the Giants are last, but they're one game off from the Commanders that are.
They're 2 losses in a row, and they're only one up from the Giants.
Okay, and then the Cowboys are like 3-2 and
3-3-1.
3-3-1. Okay, and the Eagles are like set 4-2. Yeah, I think the Commanders don't look great, obviously, and then if Jaden Daniels is out another game, it's very concerning as to how the offense is going to function moving forward. At least with the Giants, you can comfortably say that like this offense seems like it could function for a good bit. And their defense is obviously also improving week by week, just given the amount of talent that they have that is starting to develop chemistry with each other. So, I guess in terms of the division, I think Eagles are obviously still one. The Cowboys do look like a very contending force, at least from the offensive point of view. So I think they have a good chance of finishing second, and then it'll be
anybody's guess for 3 and 4.
Yeah,
I was low-key
Shaken up.
hating on the Cowboys, but they're looking good.
Yeah.
Actually, you were right on that one.
Hey,
Yeah.
I knew something when I saw that team, bro.
Yeah.
I knew something.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in the sense that if you believed in them, you thought they would be mid. If that's the definition of success, then good job, actually.
There's a low bar. There was a low bar coming.
Hey,
in.
relax. They've played some tough opponents so far. No, they have not.
Yeah, I mean, I've been impressed with Dallas offense, but yeah, that defense is. I still like that was the weak point going in. That weak point is still there.
Hey, they had a good defensive week this week. I'll give it to them. They did good against the Commanders. This is their first week that their defense actually pulled.
They
something
stopped the run
together.
really well.
Yeah, so
this year.
Yeah,
this week.
But yeah, I guess that's besides the point. They're not one of the teams we were covering.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess with that we'll go to the special segment this week. This week is a mystery segment, meaning that I'm the host for the segment. Given that Anuraag was a host for a previous segment, Arjun was a host for a previous segment. But this mystery segment is unique because both Anuraag and Arjun have no idea what the segment's about. And they're walking in as quote-unquote clueless as the rest of you guys, and the rest of you guys can also partake if you are interested to do so. So this segment, actually, let me ask Arjun first this. What do you think is like my favorite thing to do when it comes to like football or like fantasy or things in general? Like, what do you think I like doing the most?
Spreadsheets?
Okay.
Ranking?
Okay, spreadsheets and ranking are close, but what I'm doing a twist on this, and my favorite thing to do for regardless of whatever it is, what time of year it is mock drafts.
And
drafting.
Wow.
That's one of my favorite things to do. So today we will be doing a draft.
Okay.
And here's what the draft is, right? I think it's going into week 8, almost near the mid-season. We have a good idea of what teams are poised to make the playoffs, what teams aren't necessarily poised, maybe more poised for number 1 overall pick. So we probably have a good idea of things. And this is why I didn't want to give any prep to both Arjun and Anurag, because we're all going to do this on the spot. Obviously, me prepping this gives me a little bit of an advantage, but I will account for that. So here are the rules, okay? The idea is to draft 6 NFL teams that get you the highest score altogether by the end of the season. Okay, and here's how the score is calculated. I will post one table first before the table that you guys see. And this is the first table, which is by playoff points. So if a team that you draft makes the playoffs, you get 1 point. If a team that you draft gets a first round bye, they get an additional point. So that's like if the Chiefs somehow end up winning the entirety of the AFC, they get first round bye, so that's an extra point for your team. If your team wins a wildcard game, that's an extra point. So basically, I'm functioning like a wildcard game and a first round bye is the same value. If your team wins a divisional game, they get 2 points. Conference championship game, 3 points. And then Super Bowl, 5 points. So we're heavily weighting teams that make it farther. And technically with this, since it's a draft, you get to pick 6 teams. So there will be a total of 18 teams chosen. Now, on top of this, there's a secondary table for points that you can earn. And this is the awards table. All right? And how this works is if your player happens to be the MVP by what is determined at the end of the season. So, for example, Patrick
Wait, so
Mahomes,
are we picking players or picking
you're
teams?
picking teams.
Okay, so
But
if a player on that team wins MVP, then we get
yes,
the points.
You get the points. So MVP gets 3 points. Offensive Player of the Year gets 2 points. Defensive Player of the Year gets 2 points. Offensive Rookie of the Year gets 2 points. Defensive Rookie of the Year gets 2 points. Coach of the Year gets 2 points. Assistant Coach of the Year gets 1. Comeback Player of the Year gets 1 point. Walter Payton Man of the Year gets 1 point. You know what? I'm going to change this last minute. There's a new award this year called NFL Predictor of the Year.
Wow.
Where they give an award to the best offensive lineman. And I'm going to award 2 points for that as well, because I think that's
pretty cool.
That's a pretty cool award, and I think we can recognize it this year. So yeah, those are the 2 metrics for earning points. Do you guys have any questions on that?
No, I think it's clear.
Does that make sense?
I think this is a very good idea, especially given the fact that NFL is so wide open. There's not really a clear favorite this year.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So then here's what we'll do. I will give you guys 3 minutes to do whatever prep you want.
Sure.
And then after that, you two will flip a coin.
Okay.
It'll be a snake draft. You two will flip a coin to determine who gets to pick slot 1, 2, or 3.
Sure.
And then the loser gets to pick the second one, and then I'll just take the remaining slot.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a snake draft.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So basically, if I go first, Anuraag goes second, Arjun goes third. Then the following round, Arjun goes first, Anuraag goes second, I go third. And then you do that for 6 rounds. And one other thing on top of that, just to make it time conscious, everyone only gets 30 seconds per pick.
Sure. All right, so 2-minute break starting now.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys in 2 minutes.
All right. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. Where we have taken our prep time. Arjun has taken a lot of prep time. Actually, he's been going crazy with the fast fingers. So we'll see if that research pays off. I'm more winging it a little bit. I looked a little bit, but I was like, I think I'm gonna go with my gut. I think Akshay is doing the same thing. So we'll see who wins this one. It's a pretty interesting situation. So we got a coin toss going on. I think Arjun will flip and I will call.
Ready?
Yep.
I call in there.
Tails.
Tails it is.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Should we just get this started, or?
No, Anurag, you got to decide what pick you want.
I want the first overall pick.
Okay, so Anurag wants the first overall pick, which means you will get 6 and then 7. and then what pick do you want, Arjun? You
2.
want 2? Okay.
Give me 2.
All right, so then I will get 3. That means I get 4, and then etc. Okay, so without further ado, the NFL draft for playoff teams plus award winners is now under commencement, and I will be starting the timer for Anuraag to make his first overall pick.
Well, I thought about this a little bit. I'm ready to put my pick in. So if you guys are ready.
Oh, okay. All right, let me stop the timer.
All right, with the number 1 overall pick, I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, shoot.
That's a banger of a pick.
Give me a team that makes the playoffs. I think they can get a wild card game in, even if they don't win the conference or get the best record in the conference with the bye. But mainly, I'm looking at the awards here. Offensive Player of the Year, Jonathan Taylor. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tyler Warren, potentially. Coach of the Year, Steichen, potentially. Comeback Player of the Year, Daniel Jones, potentially.
Oh, that was
So
huge.
I got a few awards in there. I think they'll do well just to even make the playoffs. So I got Indy number 1 overall pick.
Good pick. All right, now I'll be starting the timer for 30 seconds.
All right, you can lock my pick in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was a given. That was gonna come eventually.
You know, maybe they can win the Super Bowl. That's like 5 points right there. MVP Mahomes could be the year.
Right.
You know, Offensive Player of the Year. If he doesn't win MVP, I don't know. I'm just waffling at this point. But yeah, run up my Mahomes and the Chiefs for pick number 2.
All right. So I will start the timer for me. I honestly wanted one of those 2 teams, which is unfortunate, but I have an idea of the next 2 teams I want already. So I will go ahead and stop the timer and I'll announce both teams. All right. All right. So with the third overall pick, I will be picking a team that I think will win the division. It's a little bit unhealthy right now, but with full health, I think can make a pretty good push in the playoffs. And it's an NFC team, so it's all up for grabs in the NFC. So I'll be going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow.
Okay, and my reasoning for that is I think they have a chance to win MVP with Baker. There's a chance. I definitely think we have chances with Offensive Rookie of the Year with Emeka Egbuka. And then there are shouts for like assistant coach or Walter Payton or Predictor. I don't know. Whatever.
I think Todd Bowles has a shot if.
Oh yeah, he has a shot.
The Bucks really do well.
Yeah. But more so, I'm looking at the awards for this one. My next pick is the Detroit Lions. And the reasoning for this is I think they can go pretty far as well. They can obviously make the playoffs. There's a chance they win, get a bye, or they obviously make the divisional round of some sort. And I think they will get Defensive Player of the Year. I think Hutchinson's favored right now. So he's probably up there. As well as Protector of the Year. I have a feeling this will go to Penei Sewell. So that's why I picked the Lions.
Okay.
My picks are Bucks and Lions. So with that, I'll be turning it over to Arjun to make his next pick. Starting now.
This is hard.
Now it gets interesting, right?
Now we have to actually take the time, the 30 seconds that is allotted to us.
20 seconds left.
All right, give me the Packers.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I'm looking at all the divisional and conference stuff in the playoffs. Like they have a legit shot at making the Super Bowl. I think they're like 3rd in the odds right now, 4th maybe. Micah Parsons for Defensive Player of the Year could still be in play. So yeah, lock in the Packers.
All right. Anuraag's 30 seconds starting now. All right, Anuraag.
Time's up.
Time's up for your 2 picks.
Okay. I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, no.
Dang it.
Okay, what's your reasoning for
Okay, so
both?
my reasoning for the Rams is that I think they're one of the most experienced teams, especially at the very important positions like QB, and they have a very experienced head coach. Obviously, that experience pays off. Lately, in the last few years, they have been very good in the playoffs. I'm not really looking at any of these awards. Like none of them really jump at me. Like McVay's already won Coach of the Year, but if the Rams defense continues to play really well, maybe they could have an assistant coach of the year. Maybe they can get a shot at that. Who knows? But yeah, I'm purely basing the Rams pick off of playoff success, and I think they have a chance at making the Super Bowl if the Cards play. They get the right hand. They get dealt the right hand. As for the Buffalo Bills, you can't have a guy like Josh Allen and just let him walk and let him be like, oh, I'll pass on Josh Allen.
No, you can't pass on Josh Allen.
You can't pass on Josh Allen, even though that Bills defense is paper thin, especially with all their injuries. They'll definitely at least make the playoffs, and they probably will win their division. We'll see. But yeah, I'm picking both those teams.
All right. So So with that, I'll give it to Arjun to make his next pick. 30 seconds on the clock. Arjun, time's up.
All right. I will go with the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, okay.
You want that assistant coach of the year, huh?
Assistant coach, coach of the year. Give me like offensive player of the year with CMC maybe. Who knows? They've been dealing with so many injuries, but I think if they get healthy by the playoffs, maybe they can make a run. So, yeah.
Wasn't CMC
Trent
hurt
Williams?
last year too?
No, he wasn't.
It wasn't? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, good pick right there. I was gonna pick the 49ers if it came back to me. So
CMC came back, so that's
yeah. Okay. All right, so I'll start the timer for me now.
All right, feels good.
To make my
I got one
picks.
of the two that actually was going to take.
All right. One of them is a guaranteed for me. I will be taking. The other one is a question.
Because actually, you're gonna go with the homer pick.
No, the question is, do I want to go the homer pick for my second pick or not? Because I already have 3 NFC teams if I take my first one. So the idea is, I don't know if I want to go with the fourth one or not. Okay. So my options, you know what? Let me just finalize the first pick. I'll make it easier. The next pick I'll be picking is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Ooh. Okay.
Reasoning is I think they'll win the division. I think they have a chance to go pretty far in the playoffs. This is not really like an award point of view that I'm looking at. More so a point of view that they'll probably go pretty far in the playoffs. And they have a pretty solid team overall.
I think you have a shot at the assistant coach of the year as well with the Eagles, Vic Fangio.
Yeah, there's chances there for sure. Okay, so then I'll start my timer for the next pick, and I will walk through my deliberation process because I'm doing this live. I don't have a decision in my head. It's between the Seahawks, which is my homer team, and the Patriots, who is obviously also 5-2, and the Broncos, who is also 5-2. I'm not comfortable going with the Broncos because I think they are a first round exit still, and I don't really see much of an award chance for them. Patriots, I'm not really certain about either. So with that, I will be going with the Seahawks with my next pick.
Dang it, man!
And I'll be piling on the NFC to carry me. Yeah. All right. With that, Arjun's your pick. 30 seconds.
Man. Just give me the Patriots. Give me the Patriots. Vrabel, head coach of the year. You know.
I was thinking about Vrabel as well for coach of the year.
Vrabel, and then I
yeah.
don't know, man. I feel like maybe this year they can make a small run. They're a bit fraudulent in the teams that they've beaten, but I think they'll make the playoffs.
Hey, they have to beat the bad teams first before they get the good teams.
They can only play who's in front of them.
Yeah, they beat the Bills, who are very, very bad.
Yeah.
Not joking. But yeah, I think I was intrigued by both Patriots and Seahawks just because I think both have chances of head coach of the year for this year. So, yeah. All right, with that, Anuraag, 30 seconds on the clock.
I got my 2 picks. I think I'll start off with the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
I think that they've put themselves in a good position to make the playoffs. So at least that's a few points there. As for awards, potentially maybe Nick Bonito, Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's actually, I think he's the front runner right now. At least one of the front runners.
Yeah, he and Hutch are like up there.
So, yeah. So I think Denver Broncos is a good pick. Good value at this spot, honestly.
Right.
And for my next pick, I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals, a wild card here.
Oh, shoot.
What? Out of left field. I think
shoot.
They weren't even on my board.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have a chance to win the division, I'm not going to lie. If Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, I like what they showed against the Steelers. Granted, it's only one game. But I think Joe Burrow is said to come back before the end of the season. So if things click just right, you know, I wanted to take a long shot here, like a baseball swing. So we'll see what goes on. Let's see, because I think if they're healthy come playoff time, and if they're in like their mood, I think they can beat anyone. Honestly, I think last year, especially when they went on their run towards the end of the season, the Chiefs were very scared of the Bengals being in the playoffs, so they made sure to lose to the Broncos that game. I don't know if you guys remember from last season, but yeah. Give me a wild card team. Give me Cincinnati.
All right. With that, 30 seconds on the clock for Arjun. Starting now.
Okay. Give me the Cowboys.
Oh my!
I want to load a little bit heavier on the NFC North. Sorry, the NFC, because I have only the Packers and the Niners. And, Dak could win Comeback Player of the Year. Dak could win MVP. It's not out of the realm of possibility. And, that defense, and if it's any better, if Eberflus can lock in a little bit, then maybe they can make a little bit of a playoff run to, they can win one game in the playoffs, maybe. I could see it. Make it to the wild card.
You took my pick.
Let's go!
Dang, bro. That's unfortunate. All right, I'll start the timer for me.
That's a big reason why I picked them, too.
Because I sniped Arjun that we picked before. But, okay. Here's my thought process, right? I already have 4 NFC teams, of which I feel fairly comfortable with. I don't really think adding on a Bears or Panthers or Falcons, for that matter, is going to help me that much. So I'll comfortably give it to Arjun if he wants to take another NFC team. So with that, I think I want to go about this with a very unique way. Very, very unique. I will be taking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
With one of my picks. Just because I think that they can make the playoffs. Obviously, I think they are shooing for the playoffs. Whether they make it past the first round, I don't know. But I'll take every point I can get. And then obviously, there's chances for nothing realistically. Now that I'm looking at it. Maybe
these later round picks, it's all about the playoffs, what they can do in the playoffs.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers is a good guy. He can win Walter Payton Man of the Year.
No, I don't think that's happening. I wouldn't bet that.
I'm joking. Okay. Yeah, but with all seriousness, my last pick is going to be the Baltimore Ravens.
Dang. And I have a difficult choice here.
Reasoning for that is if the Ravens make the playoffs, they can make a big push, and it's just a chance I'm willing to take.
Just give me the Bears, man. Give me the Bears. I can't not pick the Bears.
All right, Anuraag, you know what you need to do now. 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I think I have my picks in stone.
What a gift, man.
I think I'm not going to take the Chargers, actually. I do not want to take the Chargers. I'm taking the Falcons right here.
Huh?
I think there's potential for Defensive Rookie of the Year, which is why I'm going with the Falcons. James Pierce Jr. And that good defense has been good.
Okay.
They have a chance to make the playoffs. The Bucks are really injured.
It's 2 points.
We'll see. Potentially, we can get a Bijan Robinson Man of the Year award. That would be nice. Actually, potentially Offensive Player of the Year as well for Bijan Robinson.
Could be.
So I'm looking at the players they got. They have a lot of dynamic players. Maybe team success might be a bit more iffy, but I'm looking at the player success, and hopefully we can get some awards for Atlanta.
Wow, man. I should not have picked the Bears.
No one took the Chargers.
Why did I pick the Bears?
I thought you were going to pick the Vikings there for a second, but
I was not.
yeah.
I should not have picked the Bears.
All right. Okay. Now we will.
Should we recap the teams?
Before we recap the teams, I will offer a 1 minute time period for you guys to consider any trades you want to make.
I'm actually quite happy with my teams.
Anybody want the Bears? How many ways can the Bears let me down in one season?
You know, Arjun, if you don't want the Bears, I'll give you the Ravens.
No, I'll keep the Bears.
All right. That's the only offer I was gonna give you. I just wanted to give you a chance, but if you don't
Honestly,
want that,
I feel really good about my picks.
All right. Okay, so I guess I'm assuming no trades from anyone.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. You want to start recapping your team, Anuraag?
Yeah, I'll go first. I picked 4 teams in the AFC and 2 teams in the NFC, so I'm a bit AFC biased. I think a lot of us are AFC biased, except Akshay. I think you pick more NFC teams. But okay, so my number 1 pick was the Colts. I think they have a lot of potential candidates for the individual awards, and I think I see some playoff success for them in the future. Next, I have Rams, primarily because I think they have a shot to win the Super Bowl and at least make the Super Bowl and have a lot of playoff success. And I think obviously they have the experience and stuff for the coaches and the players to maybe get some of those individual awards. Next, I have the Bills because you never know with Josh Allen. They always make a run in the playoffs. The Broncos because they have a great defense, potential Defensive Player of the Year. And they have a good shot at making the playoffs. These last 2, maybe a little less shot of team success. The Bengals is a pretty big risk. I've dropped them pretty high, but I think they have a chance to make the playoffs. especially in that weak division that the AFC North has surprisingly turned out to be. So if there's an outside shot, I'm going to take it with the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow a lot, and hopefully if he comes back remotely looking like himself, if they get healthy coming into the playoffs, who knows what can happen with that team. And last pick, I think I feel really good about this pick actually with Atlanta, because I think they have a good shot for some of those individual awards, which is a good value at the last pick. So,
Right.
and they realistically, it's not a stretch to say they could make the playoffs as well.
All right. Good recap. You want to go next?
Sure, yeah. So I have only 2 AFC teams, and I have 4 NFC teams. And essentially, I was very happy that I got the Chiefs at number 2. So I was like, okay, you know what? I think I have the AFC locked down for the playoffs. So I felt a little bit more liberty in, picking some more NFC teams. So I have the Chiefs and the Patriots in the AFC. Feel pretty good about that. And then I got the Packers, Niners, Cowboys, and Bears. So I have some wild card outs. I have some, strong powerhouses in the NFC, the Packers and the Niners. I think both of them could very much make a run. There's a lot of individual award outs as well. Like you have a bunch of Coach of the Year favorites on my team, like the Patriots, Bears, Niners. I don't have the favorite Steichen, but I think I have pretty much everybody else. So we'll see.
All right. Yeah, I guess I can cover my team now. So obviously I have also, as Arjun said, 4 NFC teams. I went pretty heavy on the NFC. And honestly, going into this, when I thought about what I wanted to do, my strategy was to see what Arjun and Anuraag did first. They both took AFC teams, so I was like, okay, let me invest in the NFC. And that's kind of why I invested with 2 NFC picks to start out. And then I feel like I got good value with NFC going forward as well. So honestly, I think there's a reasonable shot that I could have somehow all 4 divisional NFC teams. There's not like a zero chance that this doesn't happen. As well as good awards for all those respective teams. Like I have Coach of the Year shouts with the Seahawks, obviously MVP shouts with Baker, Offensive Player of the Year shouts with a few players like JSN, amongst which Munra, Gibbs as well, potentially later in the season. Defensive Player of the Year shouts with Hutch, and then some select standouts on the Eagles and Seahawks, and then just awards here and there. So that's kind of my idea, and I just wanted to throw in some AFC options at the very end with Steelers and Ravens. Just put some love in the AFC North, see what happens. Can't count out the Ravens ever, even if they're 1-10. No, if they're 1-10, yes.
You could have 5 playoff berths locked up. Actually, you probably will.
I think I have 5 teams making the playoffs.
Wow, what intelligent drafting.
And that's why I took a risk with the last one. I was
Dude,
like, you know
Arjun,
what, let's just...
I gotta know, bro. What is this Bears pick, bro, right here? I mean, what are you looking at that they could potentially get in either awards or playoff success?
The wild card, the Coach of the Year award.
Oh, that is true. Coach of the Year.
Assistant Coach of the Year. And
who is their defensive
Man
coordinator?
of the Year. Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen. Yeah, he is going well. Okay, so fair enough. It's not as bad as a pick as I initially thought. So
okay, honestly, my Ravens pick is probably worse. I don't think any Ravens guys winning an award. The only thing I'm hoping on is that they somehow make the playoffs.
I'm surprised you went. Like, the surprising teams that weren't selected is obviously the Chargers, like, staring us in the face. Right. So, actually, do you have a reason why you picked the Ravens over the Chargers?
Okay, so my reasoning was this, right? If the Chargers make the playoffs, I don't think they're more than a first-round exit, right? And for awards-wise, it looked good for them at the start of the season, but realistically, I don't really see much of an opportunity for them, aside from maybe, like, Offensive Player of the Year with Herbert of some sort, if it ends up being, like, a QB race and they have to give a QB Offensive Player of the Year. Defensively, there hasn't been anyone that special. Rookie-wise, there hasn't been anyone that special for me to know, aside from maybe like Gaston or something like that. And then obviously Hampton, but he had the injury, so I'm not leaning towards him either. So awards-wise, I didn't really feel comfortable with it. And Protector of the Year, the Chargers is the last team you can even consider for that.
Unfortunately,
which is unfortunate. So,
maybe at the beginning of the season, they would have been probably the favorites.
Yeah, so I just took my chances with it in terms of playoffs, because If the Ravens and the Chargers both made the playoffs, I would fancy the Ravens making it farther.
Honestly, yeah. I feel like award outs are kind of fake because only one person can win that.
Right.
So even if you're second in the race, then you don't get any points.
That is true.
I feel like maybe if I wasn't a homer, I would have picked the Chargers, but alas, I'm a Bears fan.
I think another team that could have got some love but didn't was the Jags.
Yeah, definitely.
There could have been some shouts for Coach of the Year. There are Assistant Coach of the Year there for that defense at least.
Potentially defensive player of the year as well, right? With what is the linebacker's name?
Josh Hines Allen.
No. He got the pick 6 against the Chiefs. His name is. I'm blanking.
I don't know either.
Look, nobody took the Giants either, but I think Dart.
I think
the
Dart or
current-
Scadaboo for rookie offensive
Probably
rookie of the year.
Dart,
That was
if
the-
it's a QB award.
Oh, Devin
Oh.
Lloyd. I'm talking about Devin Lloyd.
Devin Lloyd. Yeah. I considered the Giants for that specific purpose, but I thought that was the only thing I was going to accomplish. Like, the Giants is like, I'm just going for offensive rookie of the year, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like you could have walked into the year thinking that even who's it called? Abdul Carter was gonna win defensive rookie of the year, but he hasn't really done anything that impressive for me to consider that. If anything, Anuraag is probably the favorite for that, given his Falcons pick. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's kind of a wrap on that segment.
Great segment, actually. Great segment.
Great
Thank
stuff.
Thank
Good
you.
design.
Yeah. So for all those that are watching, feel free to pull up some friends of yours, join like 2 others or 3 others, and do a draft of your own. See how it ends up. You can follow the same template that we did, and yeah, just have fun with it. You know, mid-season, why not make some predictions? So with that, we'll go to our rest of season buys, and we'll start with Anuraag, as we were talking about the
Yeah,
Giants.
speaking of the Giants, my rest of season buy is Jackson Dart. Oof. So yeah, I think mainly this segment is also for me to like touch on some points. There's just some points that I wanted to share, which I can relate to Jackson Dart. So first of all, start off with what Jackson Dart does well on the Giants offense. So they've relied a lot on his athleticism, which obviously lends well to fantasy, as rushing touchdowns and rushing yards generate more points than passing yards and passing touchdowns. And he's been playing well. He's been relatively low turnover, although when he has turned the ball over, it's been at very, very bad times, like against the Broncos and against the Saints both. But he's been taking care of the ball relatively well. And yeah, he's been one of the better fantasy QBs for the last few weeks. So I'm buying on Jackson Dart. If you're in need of a QB, maybe you should consider trying to get him on your roster. As for what I thought about, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I thought about Dart as a prospect. So Dart played for Ole Miss. And if you know anything about, let's say, Ole Miss's system and Lane Kiffin, their offense is very scripted per se for QBs. In fact, some refer to it as a Mickey Mouse offense. Very, very very reliant on first reads. Just throw your first read. A lot of screen game. A lot of whatever you see first, you throw that. A lot of not a very pro style offense, very spread out. And a lot of people thought that Jackson Dart would not be able to take that system and adapt to a pro system. But people in the past have seen that quarterbacks in the past have not succeeded when coming from spread offense. So that's why there's a precedent like this, and it'll take time to learn. That's why he was viewed as such a raw prospect, et cetera, et cetera. But I think a lot of people point to their precedent as someone who really changed it was Mahomes. Mahomes was part of a Texas Tech spread offense that a lot of people thought was not going to work. Obviously, Mahomes is a better prospect than Jackson Dart. I am not claiming that at all. But they came through with similar doubts when it came to the system of their offense. So Mahomes his knock on him was, he came from a spread offense. It's not a pro style offense. Who knows if he'll be able to read coverages, blah, whatever. But I guess it's different in a sense that you don't know the QB's mental. You don't know how willing they are to learn or how quickly they can pick up a pro style offense. Also, nowadays, my next point it brings me to is nowadays that GMs and coaches are very reliant to keep their jobs on the QBs they pick, since it's such a QB driven league nowadays. So nowadays, coaches are more adapting their offense to the quarterback they drafted rather than the quarterback adapting to the offense itself, a more pro-ready offense. So the Giants are using a lot of screen game, quick pass, stuff like that to ease Jackson Dart into the NFL or his process. And it's been working for them so far. But there is also a potential downside in the future. So I like to bring up an example of CJ Stroud. So CJ Stroud, his first year when he came to the NFL, he was under offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. And those guys had a dynamic offense. It was pretty unique, and CJ Stroud was throwing the ball everywhere he's playing. People thought he was amazing, top 5 QB potentially, that type of potential. And over time, obviously, this very next season, Slowick got completely cut. He got fired from his offensive coordinator role, and the Houston Texans, they took a massive step back. So it seems that these simple offenses are not a pro style offense for a reason. So once defenses start getting tape on these prospects or these prospects and offenses, they might be able to scheme against it and it might not work. And if the offensive coordinator is not able to adapt new ideas and new styles, then like Bobby Slowick, for example, he might get canned. We're also seeing similar things potentially. I don't want to say too much or predict too much, but Jaden Daniels has taken a little bit of a step back, although he has been dealing with injuries. That Cliff Kingsbury, he was the Patrick Mahomes' coach at Texas Tech, so he was the one designing that spread offense. I think a Bengals DB last year talking about how Jaden Daniels runs a college-style offense. He did get cooked that game, to be fair to Jaden Daniels, but looks like defenses are starting to hone in on that. So there is a potential that Jackson Dart is not like the complete truth, but I say all this to say the rest of the season, the Giants offense is doing something new. Jackson Dart has the moxie. He has his team at his back, and all the guys in the locker room seem to love him. He can make a lot of throws. I'm impressed with some of the throws he made, and the accuracy hasn't been too much of an issue. And obviously, I'm impressed with his athleticism. So we'll see what it means for Jackson Dart's future. But as for this season, I'm buying on Jackson Dart. Thank you guys for listening to such a long-winded buy section, which is supposed to be a short segment. Sorry, guys.
I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the most well-spoken buys I've ever heard, but it also took nearly like 5 minutes. So I don't know how much of that we're going to keep. We'll probably keep all of it. But I mean, I couldn't agree more with what Anuraag had to say. I didn't even know half the things he was going to point out. But I'm just gonna move on to my buy. Let's just move on.
He was very passionate about Dart, man.
I mean, like I like Jackson Dart.
I'm passionate about QBs, man. I love QB prospects.
I mean, I like Jackson Dart as well. But like, I traded FYI in my fantasy football league. I have Jackson Dart and Drake May. I will be starting Drake May every week until proven otherwise. So with that, I traded Jackson Dart for my homer, Sam Darnold. So this is kind of awkward for me as I saw this was a buy. But regardless,
he lost that trade, by the way.
Yeah, I probably lost that, but I just had the feeling to do it. But my buy, I guess, is someone that's relatively not been doing that well recently, just because their star QB has been hurt. And I think it's time to start buying again and relying on the number one option on the team, and that's Zay Flowers. He has been nursing a shoulder injury, but should be good to go for Sunday against the Bears. Honestly, just don't overthink it. Lamar's back. Just makes the offense significantly better all around. When Lamar was healthy, Zay was averaging like 8 targets a game with really good yards per catch. In fact, he's projected, still, given his first 6 weeks, he was projected for 1,200 receiving yards. So that's pretty impressive altogether. Obviously, there'll be someone like a Mark Andrews that might like take a few touchdowns. Derrick Henry will take a few touchdowns. Lamar will take a few rushing touchdowns. But Zay is still the clear receiving option, PPR wise. And then just like you need someone to get you the yards. He's the guy that's going to get open for you. So, yeah, just buy on him, I guess.
Yeah, right. Wide receiver 1 on a good offense. Lamar is good at passing the ball.
Yeah,
very good at passing the ball. All right, my buy is Travis Hunter. And this is kind of a luxury buy because he just blew up. People are like, okay, this is what we wanted all along, so maybe they won't sell. But he has his bye week this week. So if you can go and get him right now from a team that needs a win, because likely if you drafted him high, and you probably wasted that pick until now, so you've probably lost a couple of games. So if you have a chance, the manager who has Travis Hunter needs a win, you can go and send an offer. I don't mind sending like wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2 types like McLaurin or Pearsall or like Marvin Harrison Jr. or T. Higgins. Or running back 2 types. I would go as far as Kenneth Walker, but you could even do like Montgomery or like a Woody Marks, Stevenson, that type of player. I feel like people are still worried about the two-way player stuff, right? Whether he's going to play offense, defense. I don't know if you guys are sold on him as being like this full-time offensive player yet, but he's been consolidating his offensive snap count. He was at 64.8, 79.4, and 86.5 in the past 3 weeks. His route participation has also been climbing 74, 86, and 89 in 5 through 7. And hey, he's looked better than BTJ, so maybe they start consolidating towards him. So yeah, let's see if he can put together those rookie post-buy bumps that people are always chasing, right, for the end of the season and playoffs.
Yeah, I think I had Travis Hunter as one of my sells a couple of weeks ago.
I kind of heavily disagree now.
And my reasoning for that at the point was his snap share on offense, and the fact that they weren't reliably using him. And now that they are reliably using him, I will take that back. That was a bad.
To be fair, right? It was all in garbage time. It was all in the second half when they were getting blown out.
That's
so
true.
You could still be right.
That's true. That's true. I do see that there's a lot more pressure on the offensive coordinator now to use him on offense comparatively to defense. I think their defense looks really solid. They don't need that much help there, with all due respect. And their offense needs a good bit of help. So I will say that I've taken a pretty minor loss on Hunter, obviously on Devonta Smith as well. But I do see Travis Hunter as a buy at this point as well. So I can see that for sure. All right, rest of season sells. We'll start with me because I want Anuraag to go last. Just because I think he has a
spicy one.
A spicy one. One of my sells is a person that Arjun mentioned that you could buy Travis Hunter for, which is David Montgomery. As a real life person, I really love David Montgomery and his role on the Lions offense. I think he really makes the offense dynamic altogether, really helps that offense gel together, and it's kind of a backbone for that team. Even if he misses time, the offense will still look good. But I just think that the fact that he has that sense of power rushing brings a whole level of availability to what they can scheme up on offense, in addition to Gibbs. And obviously also just gives Gibbs time to rest to kind of really shine when he needs to. But David Montgomery in general was held under 25 rushing yards and out of the end zone for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And out of the last 2 weeks, he hasn't gotten a single red zone carry. So that's a little concerning given that Montgomery is the kind of guy that relies on those touchdown upside weeks. And given that it's such very volatile and unpredictable, the floor is lower than any year prior to this. Like his low is like 1 point or like 3 points or something like that. So obviously the spike weeks are nice, but you can't really predict that when you're starting Monty on a weekly basis. And then the matchups coming up. I don't want to scare people away from Montgomery, but just to say that their matchups, aside from the Cowboys and the Bears, which are pretty good matchups for them, are the Vikings, Commanders, Eagles, Giants, Packers, Rams, Steelers, and then the Vikings again, which are all like pretty good against the run. So it's not like a concern, I would say, but it only just reduces his chances of getting those like red zone touches.
It's a gauntlet, bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have Montgomery and you haven't been doing well, you can try moving off of him. If you've been having good weeks and you just want like a chance to have like a spike week of some sort with him, with players on bye, you can just keep him. But that's just kind of my take on him. Yeah. I'll move on to Arjun to give his
my favorite segment where I get to say, once again, if you have not sold Kyron Williams, sell him this week. But another running back I'll be picking for this week is Travis Etienne. He hasn't eclipsed 50 rushing yards since week 4 or 10 PPR points. He might be regressing back to the inefficient running back that he was the past 2 years, you know. It's a bit scary since the new coach, Liam Cohen, has no obligation to feed him volume, right? He has Tuden in the back, who has looked pretty decent. So, you know, Tuden has juice. He can fight through contact, which Etienne has not been, you know, amazing at. Tuden has been very good at. And Tuden is now a little bit more healthy. After the bye, we could see them start to shift the rushing snap shares and volume in this backfield. And Travis Etienne has not looked good so far. So we might see him getting phased out as the season continues. Anuraag, let's hear the spice.
Okay, this is, I guess, spicy. It's pretty spicy, but I'll keep it short since I went a little bit long on the last one. Saquon has seemed to take a little bit... My pick is Saquon Barkley, by the way. Saquon has seemed to have taken a little bit of a step back, and it seems like the Eagles are not relying on him as much as they did last season. I want to let you guys know what his last 3 weeks have been for him. So at Minnesota, he had 5 points. At New York Giants, he had 8.5 points. And at Denver, he did have a really good 17.8 points, but most of those points came from his receiving workload rather than his rushing workload. He only had 6 attempts for 30 yards in that game. So Saquon is, I think the Eagles' offense has moved towards pleasing A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith because they've been making a little bit of a ruckus. So I think they're trying to please them so they don't like lower the morale and want to get traded or anything like that. I think they really want to keep that team together. So I think that is the reason. I think Jalen Hurts is going to look to be in shotgun more, pass more, and if he's not passing to those guys, it's looking like he's going to run it himself. So that's why I got Saquon as my sell.
Yeah. Also, I've been watching a few Eagles games here and there, and I've been noticing that the teams that play against them are more likely to crowd the box, because they are afraid of unlocking the rush game per se, and they're okay with the pass game kind of succeeding, which is what we've kind of seen. And in retrospect, like, it's very hard to stop like that great of a running back, as well as two quality receivers. On the same offense that's tied to a pretty good quarterback as well. So I can kind of see why this is happening. Unironically, I was offered a trade around week 4 where I get Saquon Barkley, and in return I have to give Emeka Ibuka and Ted McMillan. I had a pretty big discussion with Arjun about this, and I ended up not taking the trade because Arjun convinced me not to. And I really appreciate him for that. because Saquon has not been good since, and Emeka is only going to get better now that unfortunately Evans had a collarbone injury. So
honestly, I feel like last year Saquon had so many of those like explosive runs where he just like tears something off. He's expected to get tackled, but he doesn't, and he just runs it all the way for like 50-yard gain or like a touchdown. That's kind of finally come back to normal instead of being like the insane amounts, like the outlier year that he had last year, right? I think he's back to like the Saquon from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, which is still a good running back.
Right. He's definitely great, and you can probably get a lot of value from him as well.
Right. That's what Anuraag is saying is a sell. It's not like he's just a bad player. You sell him for like a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3.
You sell him for something good.
You sell him for something like really high quality.
Barkley.
But it's just that you could get really good value from someone that might not be putting the points that you expect him to put on a weekly
banger
basis.
pick, Anuraag. Banger pick.
Yeah, I guess with that, we would be moving to a sleeper mini game, but we are unfortunately not continuing with this just because it was hard to really keep track of, and then it was really hard to pick a sleeper, to be honest.
Also, we wanted to put some more focus on these special segments. Let us know which switch you guys like. Do you like the sleeper segments? Do you want them back? And how are you enjoying the special segments?
Yeah. So with that, we'll go to our final segment, which is one of our favorite segments as well. It's our upset of the week. It gets harder and harder every week, to be honest. But the points so far, just to recap, Anuraag has 1.5 points when Indiana beat Denver. Arjun has 3 points, finally got on the board. That 1 week where Tampa beat my Seahawks.
2-1.
Unfortunate. And then I'm still at 9.5.
Holy moly!
So we'll go to this week. I'll start off. I have a pretty spicy pick, but it already happened once this season, so why not again? I honestly have no reasoning for this. The Giants are 0-4 away from home, and they are playing away from home, so I have no reason why I'm doing this. I'm just doing it just to see a team that I like beat a team I don't like. And that is the Giants beating the Eagles. And I have no other reason beyond that, to be honest. Yeah, I will move it on.
All right. I have Chicago against the Ravens. Right now, the Ravens are 6.5-point favorites. So if I get this right, then I will be at 9.5, tied with Akshay. And the Bears will be 5-2, which is incredible. So off of that euphoria, also like Lamar coming back from injury, maybe we can limit him to be more of a pocket passer instead of having that rushing threat. So if, he's a little bit limited due to his injury, maybe the Bears can do something here. And the Ravens defense has been pretty horrible, if I should say so myself. So I trust Ben Johnson. I trust, not Caleb Williams, but I trust Dennis Allen. Let's see what they can do.
I mean, you're going up against a pretty bad defense, so
yeah.
It could be a shootout.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh over the Packers. The Packers are favored at -3, so I just went through what I thought would happen, and I picked. That's pretty much it. I think Steelers showed like a good offensive performance against Cincinnati. Granted, it's a bad Cincinnati defense, but the players are there. DK is there. Farmouth is showing his skills. The Steelers' offensive line I thought played really well too, even though the pass rush without Hendrickson, it's a little iffy, but I thought offensive line was good. I thought Rodgers had plenty of time, and hopefully they can replicate that against Green Bay. It's going to be hard with Micah, but I think the coaching staff in Pittsburgh is good enough to have a game plan and set out, and I believe in Rodgers. It's a revenge game for him, so you know Rodgers is good when there's something on the line, so I'm going with the Steelers over the Packers.
Revenge game.
How do you guys think we can make it so that no team wins this game, right? I don't want Rodgers to win. I don't want the Packers to win.
Another tie.
Yeah, let's do another tie.
Packers should get 2 ties in one season.
I've never seen that before. I've never seen 2 ties in a season.
That would be insane.
I think Rodgers will find a way not to make this a tie, whether they end up losing or winning. But Yeah.
Wow, what a bold prediction, actually.
All right, that wraps up post week 7. Another week of football. We're recording this on Thursday, as opposed to when we usually record. So whenever we put this out, just know that we're recording this on Thursday, and we have an exciting
Thursday
game.
before the game. This game, yeah.
Before the Vikings Chargers game. So Anuraag's gonna watch anticipation. The rest of us are gonna watch.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that much anticipation. I'm not gonna lie.
The rest of us are going to either. We have another friend that's a Chargers fan, so either way, we're gonna have some fun. So yeah, wrapping up this week. I'm signing off as Akshay. Peace out.
I'm Anuraag. I'm out.
Toodles.
All right.